Good morning to all the students. So in the last class we started our discussion on the C programming related to singly linked list, where we have gone through various topics or various functionalities of how we can create a node, how we can add the data part into that newly created node, and how we can manipulate the pointer part or the next part of the new node that is created. And we have gone through the insertion part, how we can insert a new node as the first node in the singly linked list, and how we can insert a new node as the last node of the singly linked list, and how we are going to insert a new node in the required position of the singly linked list, right? So in today's session we are going to discuss the deletion part. As we have discussed earlier that again this deletion part consists of three parts, that is how we can delete an element from the front of the linked list. The second one is how we are going to delete the node which is present as the last node of the linked list, and then we are going to discuss how we can delete a node which is given by the user, right? The position will be given by the user and we need to write a code to delete that particular node, right? So this deletion part is somewhat simple than the creation part. Why? Because in the creation part you need to create a new node by using the malloc function, and then you need to add the data part, and then you need to add the address part. All these things you have to do, right? So deletion is a very simple operation compared to that of the insertion operation in the singly linked list. Why? Because we are not bothered about how to create and how to add the data part into the singly linked list. All these things it is we can simply skip them, right? So can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is the linked list that we have created in yesterday's class or in the last class, right? So how many nodes are there? Totally we have 7 nodes. The first node is starting at 300, and then we have node at 200, and then we have at 600, 100, 700, 400 and 500. So the node which is created at 500 is the last node. Why? Because the address part is having the null part, right? Now we are going to enter into the deletion part. The first part is deletion of a node at the beginning, right? It's a very simple step, only single step is there, but I'll tell you what happens when you implement it with only single step, right? It is a clear concept, and there is a disadvantage of this single step deletion process at the beginning. This particular coding is only at the beginning, right? How we can delete the node from the beginning of the linked list. Now tell me, so what is the first node we have in this linked list?
300.
Node that is created at 300, right? So that is identified. Why? Because we have the address 300 inside the head pointer, right? Now I want to delete this node. If I delete this first node, what happens is the second node should be made the first node. Very simple task, right? So if you delete the first node, automatically the second node should be the first node. How can I make the second node as the first node? I have to make the address, or I have to store the address of the second node, that is 200, should be stored inside the head node. That's it. So if you are able to store the address of this 200 node inside the head node, then automatically the head pointer will be pointing to this location, and we can assume that the node, the previous first node, has been deleted, right? So let us look at the disadvantage of this particular implementation. First of all, tell me how we can change the value of head pointing to 200. Where can I access this 200? Where is this 200 stored? In this
Head next.
So it is nothing but the 200 location is stored as the next part of the first node. I have already a pointer that is pointing to the first node. So when I want to access this 200, I know that this 200 is present in the next part of this node, which is pointed by head. So if I write a statement like this, head is equal to head next. So what is head next here?
200, sir.
200. I am just assigning the value of 200 to head. So what happens here is the 300, which is already present inside this head pointer, is overwritten by 200, right? So when I make this head pointer pointed to 200, what happens is I am making this head point to this second node. So whenever a head is pointing to a particular node, we can assume that the linked list is starting from that node only, right? So this is how you can delete a node from the beginning. But the disadvantage with this single statement of implementation is we are leaving this particular node as it is, right? So the node which is created, the 8 bytes of memory which is created at base location 300 remains as it is, right? So what we should do, as you know, what are the different dynamic memory allocation functions we have in C?
Malloc, CLOC,
Malloc, realloc, CLOC, right? And there is another function which we can use it for deallocation of the memory, that is free, right? So who is going to take care of this allocation and deallocation in dynamic memory allocation?
Compiler.
No.
operating system, sir.
No. Programmer. Super, right? So during during this compile time allocation, everything will be taken care by the compiler. So the allocation and deallocation of memory will be taken care by the compiler only. But by making use of this dynamic memory allocation, the programmer has to take the responsibility of allocating and deallocating the memory. So he can allocate the memory by making use of malloc or CLOC or realloc, and then it is the responsibility of the programmer to free the memory which is allocated dynamically using malloc and CLOC, right? So you means the programmer has to deallocate the memory. So it is mandated that the programmer has to use the free function at the end of every delete operation, right? So you might have got a question, sir, what happens if I forget to use the free function? What happens? Any guess? Wild guess?
Program exit అయిపోతుంది, sir.
What do you mean by program exiting?
అంటే రన్ చేసాం సార్, ఇదే ప్రోగ్రామ్ రన్ చేస్తుంటే ఒకసారి నోట్ డిలీట్ చేయగానే ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ ఆప్షన్ ఏంటి అని అడగకుండా ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోతుంది.
Right. So as I said that it is the programmer's responsibility to make use of the free function and deallocate the memory, right? But if the programmer does not give any free function for the deallocation of memory, it will not show any error, right? No errors are expected. But what happens here is when the program exits, then the memory will be freed, right? Sometimes but the memory will be freed when the program gets terminated. This happens only when the program termination is done in a proper manner. But sometimes what happens here is if the program does not terminate, then whatever memory locations or whatever nodes that you have left as it is in the memory, they will become did I explain the concept of memory leakage? I think I have explained it in the classroom.
పాయింటర్స్ చెప్తున్నప్పుడు చెప్పారు సార్ మెమరీ.
Yes, memory leakage.
వైల్డ్ పాయింటర్స్ కింద వదిలేస్తే మెమరీ.
Super, right? So when you forget to make use of this free to deallocate the memory dynamically, then there is a problem that may arise, that is nothing but the memory leakage. So memory leakage may happen if the programmer does not make use of the free function to deallocate the memory which is allocated dynamically using malloc and cloc, right? So but it is not mandatory, but what the others will say is it is a very good programming practice that the programmer make use of this free function when he is allocating the memory using the dynamic memory allocation techniques, right? So nothing will go wrong when you leave like that, right? But this is how the deletion of the node at the beginning happens. Very simple step. Is it not simple? It has only one step, that is we just assign the head to head next. So I am making the head to point to the next node, that's it. So this particular node remains as it is in the memory. Is it clear? So if you want to make use of free function, you can do it, right? First of all, you should have a pointer to point to this location. Let us say temporary pointer, right? So once you make this head point to the next node, what you will do, you will just make use of free function and you will free the temporary pointer. Now is it clear how we can make use of the free function?
Yes, sir.
So up to here you are just making the head pointer to point to the next node. But when I want to free this node, there should be a pointer pointing to this node. So initially what I will do is I will create a temporary pointer, struct node star temp is equal to head. I make like this. So what is the value of temp previously? It is 300. Now I execute this statement, head is equal to head next. So head value becomes 200. Okay. Now what I will do is, as the third step, I just make use of the free function and I will free the node which is pointed by the temp. So temp is pointing to this 300 node. It will just free the things. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So now we will go to the next part of deleting the node from the end. This is somewhat typical concept. You need to understand this, right? Please concentrate on this particular thing. So this is the previous list I have. Let us remove this one also, no issues. Why? Because in the previous one I have removed this so my head is pointing this to this 200. This is the last generated linked list. Is it right or not? Right. So if I want to, now what is the concept we are discussing? We are going to delete the last node. So I should have either a pointer pointing to this location or I should have a pointer pointing to this location, right? So if I have, forget about this logic, if I have pointer to the previous node of the last node, then I can modify the next part of that node to null, so that I just assign the value of null to the next part of the previous node, so that the link to this node will be deleted. This is how I am planning, right? So as I told that every operation that you perform on the linked list should always start with the first node. And the second important point you have to remember is you never try to make modifications to the head pointer. So if I want to have a pointer pointing to the previous node of the last node, so you take a temporary pointer and you make changes, necessary changes to the temporary pointer only. Never ever touch the head pointer. Never ever try to make modifications to the head pointer. This is what I am repeating from the first class onwards, right? So you take the temporary variable, make it to point to the first node. Therefore in the first step, both the temporary variable or the temporary pointer and the head are pointing to the first node, which is created at 200. Right. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now what I should do is I should have a pointer pointing to the previous node, right? So how can I access this 600? That means the next part of the first node.
And point to next.
Head next can be called as 600, but as I don't want to make any modifications to the head pointer, I make use of the temp. Therefore I can call it as temp next, right? So this is how I get it, right? So if I add another next like this, is it valid or not?
Yes, sir.
This is also valid. So temp next means temp next is 600. So temp is pointing to this 600, node created at 600. So temp next means this one, 100. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
So assume that my pointer is at this location. What is temp next?
200, sir.
200.
100,
Right.
sir.
So listen, why I am making use of this particular notation temp next means I should stop my iteration at, or I should stop at a position where to the previous node of the last node, right? So I have to identify what is the address part of the next node, right? So if my pointer is pointing to a particular node, assume in this case that the temporary is pointing to 200, the node created at 200. So temp next means 600, but this is not the actual value that I require, right? My pointer should point to this node, but it should access the value of the next part of the next node, right? So if I have this temporary pointer pointing to this first node, I should access the address part of the next node of this 200. So if I have pointer to this location, I should have access to the next part of the next node. Similarly, if I have temp here, I should have access to 400. If I have 400 temp here, I should have access to 500. Here is the important point. If I have the temporary pointer pointing to 500, I can access the next node. Therefore this is how I identify the last node. Temp next not equal to null, right? So when I identify that the last node has been reached, my pointer is pointing to the previous node only. So at this point I can directly access this one. So I make it as temp next is equal to null. Very simple logic. Is it clear? But what you have to understand here is, whenever you want to delete the last node, you should have a pointer pointing to its previous node. Why? Because you have to modify the pointer part of the previous node only. So that is the reason why I should have a pointer pointing to the previous node. So how I am going to make my pointer pointing to the previous node, but I should go and check the address part of the next node. So that is how we are making use of this particular syntax, which is temp next. So temp next means temp next is the next part of the temporary variable which it is pointing, and next means it is the address part of the next node which is pointed by the temp. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Right. Now tell me what is the logic I should write here. So the first logic is very common, that since you have to identify the last node, you have to traverse to the last node. That means you should have a pointer pointing to the previous node of the last node. So I should perform a traversal operation in the linked list. Whenever I want to perform the traversal operation, first point is you should start with the first node, and the second point is you never make any modifications to the head node. So by these two conditions, what I am doing is I am creating a temporary variable such that it points to the head pointer. So both the head pointer and temp pointer are pointing to the same first node. Now my intention is to move this temporary pointer when the next node next part is not equal to null. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I should move the node, I should move the temporary pointer in such a way, that means I make the temporary pointer to point to the first location, and I should have a provision to check the next part of the next node which is pointed by the temp pointer. So that is the reason why I am using this temp next. So if temp next is not equal to null, what should I do? What is temp next now? What is temp next?
100. Temp next is 600.
Temp next is 600. Super. What is temp next?
100.
100, sir.
100. So if temp next is not equal to null, what I should do? I should make the temporary pointer to point to this location. So we know the logic how to move the temporary pointer. I just make it as temp is equal to temp next. Right. So what is temp next? It is 600. Therefore temporary variable becomes 600. Therefore I make this pointer to point to this location, to this node. Is it clear up to this point? Now I should repeat the things. That means while temp next not equal to null, what is temp next?
400, sir.
Observe carefully. Where is my temporary pointer pointing to?
700.
First of all, tell me, where is my temporary pointer?
600.
So it is it is pointing to the node which is located at 600. Right. This is temp. Now what is temp next?
100, sir.
What is temp next?
700.
700. So if temp next not equal to null, what should I do? I should make the temporary pointer to point to the next location. That is done by using the temp is equal to temp next. If temp is equal to temp next, what is the value of temporary variable? It is 100. Now again go to the loop. Temp next is what? What is the value of temp next?
700, sir.
What is the value of temp next?
400.
400. So if it is not equal to null, I just make the pointer, temporary pointer to point to the next node. So now my temporary variable becomes 700. Now what is temp next? 400. But I don't want to concentrate here. I want to go for the next node. What is temp next?
500.
500. Since it is not equal to null, again I have to make the temporary pointer to point to this location. Now tell me, what is temp next?
500.
What is temp next?
Null.
Null. So if temp next not equal to null, is it true or false?
False, sir.
False. So in that condition it will come out of the loop, and at this point I have my temporary pointer pointing to this last but one node. So the logic is very clear. So I should make this node which is pointed by the temp to assign to the value of null, right? So I take this statement, temp next is equal to null. Therefore this becomes null and this link is broken. So this is how we remove the node from the end of the singly linked list. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So let us look at the logic here. Very simple logic. As I said that for traversal you need to create a temporary variable and assign the value of head to it. So while you have to repeat the sequence of steps. The sequence of steps is based upon the condition temp next not equal to null. You have to make the pointer to temporary pointer to point to the next node. That's why I am using temp is equal to temp next. And when I reach the previous node of the last node, I should come out of the loop and execute this statement, which is nothing but temp next is equal to null. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So what will be the logic for deletion from the required position? So there I am not going to use the while loop. I just make use of a for loop, as we have discussed in the insertion part. Right. So you take a temporary pointer, that is struct node star temp is equal to head. Why do I require head temporary pointer? Give me the reason. So this is a traversal operation. Deletion means the user will be giving the position, and based upon the position you have to go and make a pointer to point to its previous node. For example, if I want to remove the node which is present at the second position or third position, right, let us look at this example. Assume that the user has given position is equal to 3. So what is the node that is present at the third position?
Node created 100 position.
Node which is created at 100, right? So I should remove this one. So if I want to remove this one, I should have a pointer to the previous node, right? Deletion is always common thing. Whenever you want to delete a particular node, you should have a pointer pointing to its previous node. So I know how to point a pointer to this previous node. But once you have reached the point, a node which is pointed by this temporary variable, what you have to do? Instead of storing the address of the next node, I should store the address of the next node. Where is this address of this 700 stored here? Are you able to understand the logic? My pointer is pointing here, right? I want to delete this node. So when I want to delete a particular node, I should have a pointer pointing to its previous node. I have used the logic or for loop, and I made my pointer to point to this previous node. So what I should do? I should remove this 100 and I should have a link to this 700, right? So where is this 700 located? In the next part of the next node to temporary pointer, right? So I should take the value like this. I should have I have to modify temp next. What is temp next pointing here? 100. But I have to modify this 100 such that its value will be 700. So how can I access this 700?
Temp next, sir.
Super, right? So temp next. So if I make this temp next 700 assigned to temp next, that is the 100 will be overwritten with 700. Therefore this link will be broken and a new link will be created from this node to this node. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So forget about this node. For example, if you want to remove or free this particular node, you should have another pointer pointing to this location. You should have another pointer pointing to this location, and then you free that particular node using the free function. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I have created a temporary pointer and I have assigned the value of head to the temporary pointer, and then I used a for loop for int I is equal to 1, I less than position. You can make necessary modifications based upon this thing, right? It may be I less than position minus 1 or I less than position minus 2, then I plus plus. Let us see, right? So assume that position is 3 and I is equal to 1. Now where should my temporary pointer pointing to? My temporary pointer should point to which node?
First node, sir.
Is it first node? It is pointing to first node, but actually if I want to remove the node which is present as the third node, where my temporary pointer should point to.
Second one, sir.
Right, it should point to the previous node. That means it should point to the second node. Right. So for int I is equal to 1, 1 less than position, 1 less than 3. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
True. Right. And then I am entering into the body of the for loop. If temp next not equal to null, what is temp next here?
600.
600. If it is not equal to null, what should I do? I should make the temporary pointer to point to the next node. That is done by making use of temp is equal to temp next. So what is the value of temp right now?
600.
Right, super. So my temporary pointer is 600. Now again, go and increment the I value. Therefore it is 2. Right, 2 less than 3. Is it condition true or false?
True, sir.
True. Therefore it will go and execute this. Temp next not equal to null. Temp next is 700, which is not 100, which is not 100, which is not equal to null. And then it will execute this statement, but this should not happen. It should stop here, right? So I make the modifications like I less than position minus 1. Right. So if I make this like this, it is 2 less than position minus 1 is 2. Therefore it is the body of the for loop will not be executed. It will come out of the for loop and my temporary pointer is pointing to this location. At this point, what I told, I should make the temp next to be changed to temp next. Right. So this is how I am executing this. Temp next is equal to temp next. So the value of 100 will be overwritten with 700. Is it clear up to this point?
Clear, sir.
Right. So this is how you delete a node from a required position which is given as the input from the user. Now let us look at one important function which is called as traversing. Right. I said in the earlier class that traversing is nothing but you need to visit each and every node and do some processing. The processing can be either you want to print the element, the data part or the information part of the node, or you want to count the number of nodes that are present inside the list. For both the things, for example, if you are given a task of printing all the information related present inside the linked list, you need to visit each and every node, you access the information part of each and every node and then print it. This should be repeated until you reach the last node, right? So you are visiting each and every node and then you are doing the processing, which is nothing but the printing. So you have to have the traversing of the linked list. Similarly, when you are asked to write a function to count the number of nodes, right, you should visit each and every node, and when you visit each and every node, you have to increment the counter variable. That's it. So traversing a linked list is a very important function. You should learn it as a mandatory thing, right? And we have seen the insertion of a node at the end, insertion of a node at the middle, deletion of a node from the end. All these things makes use of the traversing only, but maybe not all the nodes are visited, but it is somewhat similar to that of a traversal. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is that you have to do for the traversal? You have to create a temporary variable and you assign the value of head such that both temp and head are pointing to the same location, right? So while temp not equal to null, what do you mean by temp not equal to null? Or you can also write like this: while temp next not equal to null, you just go and print it, and then you increment the temp and such that it points to the next node by making use of this particular statement, temp is equal to temp next. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So this traversing part is very important. it is almost the same code which you have seen in the insertion and deletion of the node as the last node, right? So after completing this, after having an idea of how to insert a node and how to delete a node from the linked list, let us see how we can implement the stacks. Can you see this blank screen?
Yes, sir.
Now let us say stack implementation. Using linked list. So what is the other name for the stack? How can we call it as stack?
Last in, first out.
Last in, first out. So the implementation of stack using linked list means whatever node you have inserted as the last node, it's not the last node, the last inserted. There is a difference. Last node means the node which is placed at the end of the linked list. The last inserted element means you can insert the element at the front or at the back. That is up to your choice, right? So let us see with an example. So the last inserted node should be the first deleted node. Let us have these 4 nodes, and this is my last node, and it is pointed by head, right? Are you able to see this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Right. So first of all, I should concentrate on insertion, right? What is the push operation? Push is nothing but inserting an element at the top of the list. So where is the top of the linked list? Is there any pointer like top here?
No, sir.
No, right? So you can insert the element at the end or at the front. We have 2 insertions. Element insertion at the beginning or insertion at the end. Right. For example, let us go with this first one. We can implement this stack using implementation using linked list in these 2 methods, right? Similarly, pop means, what is pop?
In the top element, sir.
Removing the element from the top of the list, but here we don't have any top. So here also the pop should be at the begin or it can be at the end, right? For example, let us take this 10, 20, 30 and 40 are the elements that are present in my linked list. Now I want to perform a push operation. Pushing means inserting. So as I said that you can insert at the beginning or you can insert at the end, right? Tell me where we will go. Whether we will go with the insert at the beginning or insert at the end. Which one is correct?
M, sir.
Both are correct only, right? So if somebody has given the answer that we are going to insert at the end, let us see, it is also correct only, right? So if I want to insert at the end, what I should do is, first I have to take the temporary pointer, assign it to the value of head, and then I need to traverse up to this last node here, and then I add this pointer part to this node. I should add it to this node, right? This is how I should do. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is the last inserted element?
50, sir.
50. Super, right? So now what should be the first element to be outputted? 50, right? So when you implement the push operation by inserting the node at the end, what operation should be implemented? Whether you have to make it at the beginning or at the end for the pop operation. Deletion at the end or deletion at the beginning?
M, sir.
At the end,
Super.
sir.
Deletion at the end. Why? Because the last inserted element is the 50, but I made the program such that the last inserted element is placed as the last element of the linked list. So as per the definition of the stack, the last inserted element should be the first outputted element. So I have to implement the pop operation using deletion at the end. Am I right or not?
Right, sir.
So when I implement the push operation using insertion at the end, I should implement the pop operation by deletion at the end. We will take the other case. Let us insert the element at the beginning. It is also possible, right? Now I take another node. Let us take it as 600. It is 60. Right. When I insert the new node as the first node, this is how it is linked. Right. Now tell me, what is the last inserted element? It is not the
60,
last
sir.
node. Don't get confused with the last node and the last inserted node. Right. So what is the last inserted node? It is 60. Now tell me, what is the element that should be removed first?
60, sir.
60,
60.
sir.
So whenever you implement the push operation of the stack using linked list by insertion at the beginning, you should implement the pop operation by deletion at the beginning only. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Now tell me, how do you implement Q? Now tell me, what is the last question? Right. Now tell me, which one is more easier? Whether implementation of push and pop using at the beginning or implementation of push and pop at the end. Which one is
Beginning
easier?
is easier, sir.
At the beginning, sir.
Which one is more efficient?
Beginning is
Which one is more efficient?
at the end, sir.
No, at the beginning only. Why? Because if you want to insert a node or if you want to perform a push operation by making use of the insertion at the end, what you have to do, you have to create a temporary pointer and you have to traverse the temporary pointer to the last node. That means each and every time you have to make, for example, if my temporary pointer is pointing here, I have to do some operation here. I have to check the address part and then move the temporary pointer to this node. Again I have to check the address part, move the temporary pointer to the next node. Like this, there are a lot of operations involved in the insertion of a node at the end. Similarly, the pop operation, deletion of a node at the end means again you have to take the temporary variable, you have to check the next part of each and every node. If it is not equal to null, then go to the next node. Like that, there are a lot of operations involved yet involved in this particular insertion and deletion at the end, right? But if you are implementing the same logic or implementing the stack using singly linked list and the push and pop operations are done by insertion and deletion at the beginning, simple beginning operation is somewhat simple, right? There is no need to traverse the entire list. There are less operations to be performed here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So the efficiency of the implementation of stack using linked list, the program which is implemented with the push and pop operations by the insertions at the beginning and deletions at the beginning are more efficient than the counterpart. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Now tell me, what is the logic behind implementation of Q using linked list? You should know what is the other name for linked list.
First in, first.
First in, first out.
It is first in, first out, right? Again, we have two operations. We have NQ operation and we have DQ operation. How can I implement NQ operation? It is nothing but the insertion, right? I can make it as insertion at the beginning, or I can implement the NQ as insertion at the end. Similarly, the DQ operation can be implemented in two ways, that is deletion at the beginning and similarly deletion at the end. Now tell me, how do you implement the Q?
If we insert at the beginning, we need to delete at the end, sir.
Right, this is an opposite, right? So if I insert at the beginning, for example, I have inserted the new node at the beginning, and what is the last node? It is 50, right? So you need to delete from the end. So insertion is done at the beginning, deletion will be done from the end, right? So the combination is, if we perform the NQ operation using insertion at the beginning, you should make use of the deletion at the end logic to implement the DQ operation, and vice versa. If you insert the element or the node at the end, you should implement the DQ operation by the deletion at the beginning of the linked list logic. So these are the two combinations we have. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So do we is there any chance to use the insertion at the beginning and insert not at the beginning, insertion at the required position and deletion at the required position? Can we make use of that particular functionality for these queues and stacks?
Yes, sir.
Listen my question carefully. Can we make use of the insertion at the required position and insertion at the deletion at the required position for implementing stacks and queues?
No, sir.
No. Why? Because
No, sir.
if
No,
you look
sir.
at the operations of the stacks and queues, the operations, the NQ, for example, if you take the stack, the insertion and deletions only done at the top end, which is nothing but one end. But if you look at the definition of the queues, the insertion is done at one end and the deletion is done at the other end. Here we are defining the stacks and queues in terms of end, right? If the insertion and deletion is from one end, we call it a stack, and if the insertion is at one end, if the deletion is from the other end, we call it as queue, right? So insertions and deletions are always done at the end in case of stacks and queues. So you cannot use the insertion of a node at the required position and deletion of a node at the required position to implement stacks and queues using linked list. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Now if you
Yes, sir.
understand this logic, you can write the programs for the stack implementation using linked list and queue implementation using linked list. First of all, try to write the singly linked list program. I have explained it in terms of functions, but you take the responsibility of writing the entire program and executing, whether you can make use of the online compiler or if you have any IDE, you can make use of it is your choice. Nobody restricts, right? So you please try to implement the singly linked list program completely, and then you just copy paste the programs of this functionalities of this insertion at the beginning, insertion at the end, to implement the stack, but remember carefully, when you are going to implement the stack using linked list and queue using linked list, it is mandatory that you should use those names only. So for insertion, you should always use push operation. Logic is your choice, but the name should be push only. Similarly, when you want to implement the deletion operation on the stack, the name should be pop. Similarly, in case of queues, insertion should be named as NQ and deletion should be named as DQ. If you follow these two things, then it will be very easy, right? And if possible, you try to make use of the top, rear and head pointer. That's it, right? Is it clear up to this point?
Clear, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So this is all about today's session, and we have completed the entire first unit and we have completed the lists part also. So if you have any doubts regarding the programming part related to doubly linked list and circularly singly linked list, you please try to explore those programs, and you please try to try those programs, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me, right? we'll have a separate session on it other than this classwork, right? So if it is clear, we can close this session.
సార్ యాక్చువల్గా జనరల్గా డౌట్ ఉంది సార్.
Yeah, please tell me.
సార్ ఇందాక బిగినింగ్ లో నోట్ డిలీట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఫ్రీ చేయమన్నారు కదా సార్. ఫ్రీ పాయింటర్ లో పెట్టి ఫ్రీ చేయమన్నారు కదా సార్. అలా ఫ్రీ చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ఒకసారి డిలీట్ చేసినప్పుడు బాగానే రన్ అవుతుంది సార్. నెక్స్ట్ టైం ప్రోగ్రామ్ మళ్ళీ డిలీట్ అయిపోతుంది, నోట్ చేస్తుంటే మళ్ళీ ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోతుంది సార్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఒకసారి కరెక్ట్గా రన్ అవుతుంది సార్, మళ్ళీ సెకండ్ టైం అదే ప్రోగ్రామ్.
I think then you have some logic missing in manipulating the pointers. So the next pointer చెప్పు.
సార్ యాస్టీజ్ చెప్పిందే రాశాం సార్.
Okay, as I told, I have given in the in this particular logic that there may be some modifications in the logic, right? For example, if you are inserting a node at the middle position, right, I have made modifications as that I less than or equal to position minus 1. Like that, if there are any modifications to be performed, you can make those changes and you can implement it. But even if you don't get this particular program, you please try to give that entire program to me so that I can make necessary modifications, right?
ఓకే సార్.
So you are getting the output but you are unable to get the correct output from the next deletion, right? Then there will be a logical error. So you need to carefully check and you need to trace the program carefully. Right. It's not an issue, right? So if you have any doubts, you please give me the entire program. I will execute it, make the necessary modifications and give you the correct code. Actually that is the part you should do as a student, right? I have explained the logic, and if there are any errors, no problem, you can pass it on to me, right? Is it clear up to this, all of you?
క్లియర్ సార్.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you one and all, and this is today's end of today's session, right? So you can leave.